Alright, so today one of my coworkers is coming over, and I have this bowl that is from another one of our coworkers that I roughed out and then I re-roughed out. It's got some wormhole damage on the side here, so my friend Jezail is a lot more crafty than me, so I think what we're going to do is Dremel out the soft part and then fill it with some resin. And I think we'll probably go with an orange because this bowl's got some pretty cool character and a lot of spalting in it. So hopefully this turns out pretty good. So we've got the Dremel, and Jezail here is gonna do some dremeling. So we'll go ahead and get all these little wormholes cleaned up and mix up some epoxy. And ground out all the worm damage, and now we're gonna go ahead and mix up some two-part epoxy. We're just using JB Weld. I've tried resin on this before, and the wood, this is like super punky, so it kind of just soaked it up. With this stuff, it'll cure a lot faster and it'll be a lot better for filling stuff like this. So we'll go ahead and mix this up, just two-part, and then we've got some orange aluminite and some red dye.
Good enough.
And apparently they make this stuff in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that until I actually read the label. So yeah, we'll mix that up, and we're also gonna put a little aluminite pearl, some of this powder in it too, to give it a little more character.
This one's the orange.
Yeah. So I don't know how orange you want it or how red you want it. You gotta kind of squeeze it. There you go.
We have a dot.
We're getting somewhere now.
Here, I'm gonna do like a tiny bit of dot of red, make it like a burnt orange. And the fun part. Yeah, it's a lot more red than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, that dye goes a long way.
Oh well, we'll go with it.
I think it'll look good either way.
Yeah. Slab it on.
Yep, so I guess we're gonna fill this big one first, which will probably take most of that epoxy. And then we're gonna let that tack up, and we'll just keep rotating the bowl and fill the rest of these holes. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we're just about done. I think this is the third application of the resin. We've got all the holes pretty much filled, so we're gonna go ahead and let this dry, which means one thing.
What does that mean? Cake?
Lunchtime. Alrighty, so for our lunch adventure, we're gonna try and make some ramen. So we've got some stuff to go in it. Some homemade pasta dough that we're gonna roll out with the 70s pasta maker here. Got some broth going. Jezail's been hard at work for the last 18 hours on this, so it should be great. So this is getting exciting, guys. So I'm pretty sure this is a skill that any Italian is just born with. Not sure though.
Noodle
So,
making?
Yeah. Got some noodles. Run it through this part. Look at that beauty. This is probably going to be way better than the bowl you're watching us make, so I'm just saying. Alright, so we got some rainbow carrots with some balsamic cherry glaze, and our pretty epic ramen. We got some pork, some watercress, some jalapeno, some other stuff. Pretty excited.
Ashes and egg.
Yeah, what she said. So we're gonna eat lunch and then probably try and turn that bowl. Alright, so it's after dinner time now, and we've got all our little wormholes and other areas filled. It should be kind of cool because it's going from basically dark red and then it's going to progressively get a little more orange till we get to this side. Then it'll be just straight orange. Then there's a couple little, took out a little knot there and some other holes. So this is ready to turn, so we'll go ahead and throw this up on the lathe and see what happens. Alright, so this bowl took a little longer than I thought it would, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's got some really cool grain pattern to it. Seemed like every time I would turn it and get rid of some of the resin, more wormholes would pop up, so I would Dremel those out and fill them, and then turn it again, and even more would come out, so it was kind of a never-ending battle. The wood was also super punky, and every time I would turn it, it would just chip out, and it was pretty messy on the inside. So there's a couple different times where I just soaked it in sanding sealer and then returned it, and that seemed to help. I learned that tip from Ken at Moon Pie, so pretty glad I tried that out. And then about halfway through making this, I got the cold that everyone at work seemed to also get. So finally getting over that, didn't really feel like sanding and doing all that stuff with as congested as I was. But it's all done now. I'll probably put a couple more coats of the bowl finish on. It seems to really just be sucking it up. I think it's because this wood is so punky. But yeah, in love with the grain pattern. I think it's like really cool. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So I guess for my first wood and resin experiment, I'd say it turned out pretty good. I like it.